Y'all should know why I'm here. First UFC pay-per-view of the year for 2026. With that being said, this is the first UFC preview show for 2026 on this channel. But hey, it's your boy DHP, and y'all know the rest, man. And hey, we have finally made it. That 6-week break is finally over. Today is the day. The preview show is finally here with UFC 324. Now, I will say, off the rip, this shit ain't looking good. I ain't gonna hold you. This shit is not looking good. We already had like 3 fighters miss weight. One fighter collapsed after he weighed in. I'm just like, Lord Jesus. I think my boy Davison Figueiredo, that boy Figueiredo, he's one of the 3 that missed weight. Paddy looked a little drained from the shit that I seen. Oh, there go Amazon. Hey, Amazon trying to get a break out here too. But yeah, from the shit that I seen, Paddy looked drained. I mean, now don't get me wrong. This pay-per-view card and the fights is going to be amazing. Let's get that out of the way. The actual fights tomorrow is going to be fucking amazing. But to keep it objective, because y'all know I keep it real on this channel, this shit ain't looking too good. I don't know what the fuck going on with the dehydration rules for the what they got going on with that shit. But you know, we've seen a couple fighters you know, pass out. More recently, you know, last year Macy Barber ended up having a seizure like during fight night because she was having a tough time with her weight cut. But nigga, I never seen somebody pass out like that for like directly after, you know. So, and then obviously Davison Figueiredo and 2 others missed weight. I'm like, man, this shit ain't looking too good right now for Paramount. But you already know about time fight night, the fight start tomorrow night. It's gonna be amazing. So I'm gonna go over the main card and we're gonna talk about the fights. So Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett is the main event for 324 for the interim scrap. Sugar Sean O'Malley and Song Yadong is co-main now that Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes is called off due to Kayla's injury. Waldo Cortez Acosta and D-Lou is the 3rd fight. Natalia Silva and Thug Rose is the 4th fight. And the opening fight on the card is Arnold Allen and Gene Silva. And by the way, before we get started to Paddy and Justin Gaethje, my personal opinion, Umar Nurmagomedov and Davison Figueiredo, they on the prelims. They should be on the opening card. I feel like, I'm not gonna lie to you, and I love D-Lou, and I know probably why D-Lou. Well, actually, I do know why this fight is probably placed as a 3rd fight on the card, in the middle of the card. I do know why it's placed there for a reason, because D-Lou is D-Lou. You know what you're gonna get out of D-Lou. But Waldo Cortez Acosta, he's been on a roll lately. So you got a upcoming, you know, prospect that's in like the top 6, top 7 rankings at heavyweight, and then you got somebody like D-Lou. So that fight definitely gonna bring some fireworks. But Umar and Davison Figueiredo, come on now, low key, that fight, I do think Sugar Sean, the winner of Sugar Sean, especially if Sugar Sean beats Song Yadong, I do think Sugar Sean is going to get the next crack at the title shot, if they're not going to book the trilogy with Merab and Patreon immediately. But Umar and Davison needs to be on this card. Honestly, tell you the truth, and I know I'm gonna have to get to the analysis, so I'm gonna just quickly say this. I probably know why they place these fights on the main card the way they did, because Paramount first card of the year, they want to start off the year with a bang. So you know what you're gonna get out of Gene Silva. Arnold Allen is a very technical kickboxer. He's very good. But Gene Silva, you know what you're gonna get out of him. It's rare. I don't even think he's ever went to a decision. He either knocked somebody the fuck out or he got his ass whooped. So it's very rare you want to see a boring decision fight out of him. But then you got Natalia Silva and Thug Rose, who Natalia is fighting to be, because she's up there as far as like the next group of ladies to get the shot at Valentina. And Thug Rose is already a household name in the sport of MMA and the brand of UFC. And then, like I said, with Waldo, D-Lou, you know what you're going to get out of D-Lou. And Waldo is, he's a promising upcoming prospect for heavyweight who's been getting motherfuckers out of here. And then, obviously, you got Sugar Sean and Song Yadong. We know what Sugar Sean is. Song Yadong is a pretty good technical striker, so that's going to be a striking display. So, but Davison, Figueiredo, and my personal opinion, Umar and Davison needs to be on the main card as well. But anyway, that's not what y'all here for. Paddy Pimblett, Justin Gaethje. This ain't like the fight of the lightweight division that you're really looking for, but it's one of the mixed possibilities of like 5 to 7 matchups that we could get at lightweight. Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje, this shit's gonna be a fucking banger. I expect this fight, before we get deep into the analysis, I expect this fight to be a slow burner, like in the first round, and then it's gonna pick up immediately in the second round and beyond. I do feel like it's gonna be a little fill out round, but you never know with Justin Gaethje, because Justin Gaethje, he could play on a defense and be a counter puncher, and he's an okay counter puncher because of his power. But also, according to what he said at the press conference like that, he's gonna go straight at Paddy. So we all know how niggas always say that they're going straight at him, but then when it come to fight time, they do another thing. So really, that first round, honestly, this fight is going to be dictated by Justin Gaethje, because if he plays on the defense, Paddy is too good of a technical striker, and he's a weird striker. You know, you referenced that in the press conference. Paddy's a weird striker where he comes at you at different type of angles, and then, you know, his grappling base, you know, if he needs to grapple, he will grapple the fuck out of you. And that's one of my frustrations about Justin Gaethje, is that Gaethje is a good wrestler. Justin Gaethje can wrestle, he can grapple, but he just choose not to do it just because he want to be part of the entertaining, quote unquote, the entertainer fighter group, where these niggas are skillful and talented, but what's going to get him fans is just him being an entertainer. Now, Justin Gaethje is he's still talented enough where that style actually work, but at certain matchups, especially when we get into like niggas like Islam, and we seen it with Khabib. It's like when we get into like the niggas at the very top, which is obviously the number one contender or the champion, Justin Gaethje he don't do as well, because he don't want to go back to what got him to the dance, as far as like being a pro mixed martial artist. And Paddy, I do feel like Justin Gaethje, he could turn this into a dogfight, an entertaining dogfight, but Paddy is low-key. With each fight, and I've been saying it in my other videos, with each fight, Paddy is getting better and better as a mixed martial artist. So, it's low-key. Justin Gaethje is actually catching Paddy at the right time, low-key, because Paddy is still not a polished fighter, which is why I alluded to in my other vid, what was like a couple days ago or whatever. I was like, and I'm gonna just go ahead and say, I do got Paddy beating Justin Gaethje, but I'm like, Paddy could beat Justin Gaethje, but I don't have him beating Ilia Topuria, because even though Ilia is still improving, as he said, he's still improving his wrestling and grappling, Topuria is damn near Topuria is much more of a polished fighter than Paddy is. So with that being in mind, Gaethje is catching Paddy at the right time because he's not polished. but Paddy is still dangerous. Now, striking wise, now if we going distance striking, if we striking on the outside, Paddy, he's going to tear Justin Gaethje up. Justin Gaethje really, like he said in the press conference, Justin Gaethje really going to have to go at Paddy and fight him on the inside. Because there's no way I see, especially with Paddy's reach, there's no way Gaethje is going to be able to outstrike Paddy. So Justin's going to definitely have to fight him on the inside. And then if the fight need to go to the ground, Paddy's jiu-jitsu and Brazilian jiu-jitsu it's compared to Justin Gaethje's for this fight, it's beyond levels. So I do feel like Gaethje low-key is at as much as I've said, you know, he's catching him at the right time because Paddy's not a polished fighter. Gaethje is at a real disadvantage unless he fights on the inside and turn it into a dogfight and test Paddy's chin. Because Paddy's chin, and we've seen Paddy get beat before. We've seen him get beat before. But Paddy's chin hasn't been really tested. Like some of the niggas that Justin Gaethje fought, you know, from the Dustin Poiriers, the Michael Chandlers, the Tony Fergusons, the Dan Hookers, the James, we can go back to Justin Gaethje early days in the UFC. You know, him fighting somebody like James Vick. Like, Justin Gaethje is going to test your chin. And Paddy has not had his chin tested. So it'll be interesting to see how would Paddy adjust and deal with Justin Gaethje if Justin Gaethje can fight on the inside. If it goes to the ground, like I said, Paddy, he should handle Justin Gaethje on the ground. Paddy is a little bit, now we all know Justin Gaethje is strong and athletic and he has the agility, but Paddy is low-key stronger than what you think. Paddy is low-key stronger than what you think. But it will be interesting. I do got Paddy winning. Honestly, I don't have this going to a decision. Now this is, I wouldn't say unethical. It's the right word is unorthodox. I do have an unorthodox method. I do think it's going to get to the point. It's going to get to a point in the fight where Paddy do end up getting Justin Gaethje's back and might rear naked choke this nigga. So I'm gonna say Paddy. I got Paddy winning regardless, but I'm gonna say fourth round rear naked choke. Like unless, cause Gaethje is low key like Michael Chandler and Dustin Poirier. Like Gaethje is really, we've seen it with Khabib, Charlie Olives. We've seen it. Gaethje gives up his back too easily. In my personal opinion, it's the same analysis I gave for when Dustin Poirier fought Islam, because we have data to prove what we're saying, that these niggas, they give it when you have somebody a stature of them that knows they're grappling and their jiu-jitsu is on point. When they face somebody like that, they're cooked. They're cooked because the way they give up their back. Hell, even during the Max Holloway fight, Dustin Poirier gave up his back exactly how he gave up his back in all his other fights. It's just Max is not a jiu-jitsu practitioner. I'm pretty sure that obviously he can submit your average amateur MMA fighters or just some random nigga on the street. But we talking about the elites of the elite. Max Holloway ain't submitting nobody. So Dustin, even though Dustin gave up his back way too easily in that fight, Max wasn't going to submit him. And even with BSD, like, and the crazy thing is, BSD just wanted to strike with Dustin. And I felt like Dustin gave up his back a little too easily against BSD. But regardless, back to Gaethje. Gaethje is one of them where he gave up his back too easily. And Paddy, his jiu-jitsu is improving. And Paddy could end up submitting this nigga. So I got Paddy beating Justin Gaethje, and it's going to be Paddy versus Ilia Topuria. I'm going to say, maybe, what is it? March, April, May, June. So April, May, June, whichever one, you know. Co-main event, Song Yadong and Sugar Sean O'Malley. By the way, y'all know what it is. Instagram, y'all gonna get the shortened version. YouTube, we getting the full thing on this motherfucker. Sugar Sean O'Malley, Song Yadong. Low key, there's a couple fights where you can say, potential fight of the night. This is definitely one of the fights. Because Song Yadong, the crazy thing is about this fight, because Song Yadong is also one of these fighters, like Paddy Pimblett, who's improving. And Song Yadong's striking is improving. But Sugar Sean, and it's not because I'm a Sugar Sean fan. Because y'all know, y'all see the emblem on my avatars of me with my Sugar Sean shirt. I do have videos of saying Sugar Sean is going to lose this fight. So don't even say that I'm just glazing Sugar Sean and I pick him to win every fight, because I don't. But for this particular fight, I just don't see how, unless Song Yadong catch Sugar Sean early with a nice counter or a nice pullback counter and rocking Sean, I don't see how, or even if he initiates some type of grappling, I don't see how Song can outstrike Sean. Sean is arguably the best striker at bantamweight. Not pure boxing, but best striker. And striking, we have regular boxing and we have kickboxing. Everything mixed into one. Being a Muay Thai practitioner, pure boxing, pure inside, outside boxing, and kickboxing. When you combine every single aspect of striking together, Sean is arguably the best striker at bantamweight. And I say arguably because Petr Yan is just so damn good. Now, Petr Yan is the best pure boxer, but striking wise, Sean and Petr Yan is like neck and neck to me, which is why I keep saying arguably. Song Yadong, his striking is good and is improving, but Sean is just a whole nother level. The only way I can see Song Yadong beating Sean is just him catching him early. Like, we going inside boxing and even outside boxing, inside boxing, outside kickboxing, kicking out of range. I don't see how Sean could lose this fight. I really don't. He has the reach, and he level changes better. Sean mixes up his shit so good, and he level change so good. It's way above Song Yadong. Now speed wise, Song Yadong's speed is up there with Sean. So Song Yadong could catch Sean off guard, but I just don't see it. I really don't. When you combine everything together, unless Song Yadong can initiate grappling, it should be a good fight, but it should also be a little bit easier for Sugar Sean versus him fighting Petr Yan again. Because even at the first, Petr Yan won. And I'm saying Petr Yan won because more than likely we're going to see the rematch with him and Sugar Sean. So Petr Yan won. That was, you could arguably say Sean lost that fight. And honestly, that's one of my fights on my list to go back and watch. But Song Yadong, he not ready. He already lost to somebody. Who the fuck did he lose to? He lost. I think he did lose the. Was it Petr Yan? It was either Petr Yan or Mario Batista. I do feel like it was one of them two. But Song Yadong, he's not ready for a striker like Sugar Sean. Not yet. Not yet. And he's already, they ain't no other words to say than Sugar Sean should win this fight. I wouldn't say fairly easy, but it should be somewhat easy for him. Waldo, Cortez, Acosta, and D-Lu. It's crazy. It's not crazy to say that D-Lu is a little bit more of the technical striker in this matchup, but it's hard to convince me. This is honestly, this is a first one of the year for 2026. This is a 50-50 fight to me because they both got the power, and D-Lu is a little bit more technical with his striking, but it's not far off. You know, Walter Costa is not far off, so it's kind of like, this fight basically gonna go down to which one lands their power shot first. That's basically gonna go down to. I like D-Lu. I fuck with D-Lu heavy, but I'm gonna say Waldo Cortez Acosta because I do feel like on a technicality scale. Now I will say D-Lu is looking much better. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say D-Lu. I do want Waldo to win just because of the fact that if he wins, it's gonna progress the heavyweight division into more of the new generation. Into the new generation guard, you know what I mean? Because if D-Lu wins, yeah, we all fuck with D-Lu, but it's kind of like one of those things where the old guard is still gatekeeping the spot. Now, right or wrong, these new niggas gotta beat them. They gotta beat niggas like D-Lu and to get them off that spot. But at the same time, it's kind of like now you want to see the new guard, you know, push up in there into the range like welterweight. Like now, welterweight is at the point where really the only nigga that's competitive from the last era is Marty Usman. But everybody else is now wearing a new era for the welterweight, and that's what make welterweight exciting. Heavyweight, y'all know how I feel about heavyweight. Go back to my ranking videos. Heavyweight is pretty much stagnant to where we got some new niggas in there, but majority of the niggas that's still at the top is from the, you know, is from pre-COVID. So you got Tom Aspinall's boy, Dehilia or Deji, I think that's the name. Then you got Walter Walker, and now you got Waldo Costa. That's only like three new niggas in heavyweight, you know. And Waldo Cortez Acosta is really the only one that has the position to be in that top 4, top 3 spot moving forward. Walter Walker is way back. Tom Aspinall teammate, I think Waldo just beat whatchamacallit, Tom Aspinall's teammate. So yeah, you would like to see Waldo get in there. But I ain't gonna lie, D-Lu, you can't really count out D-Lu. You can't really count out D-Lu, especially the way he looked. The pictures I've seen, even at the press conferences, D-Lu looks in really good shape. He looks really in good shape. This probably from this year and last year when he fought old boy, when he fought Taliesin Teixeira. This is like the last year when he fought Taliesin Teixeira, and even now this year so far, and it looked like he even got better shape this year. These last 2 years were really last year and a half because we just getting started with 2026. He's been in the best shape of his career. He looked good last year, and now he look even better so far this year. So I would not put it past. I'm gonna say Waldo Cortez Acosta, but I would not put it past if D-Lu actually win this fight because he looked good. And it's like I said, it's gonna really come down to who lands their big shot, their big power shots first. So now we go to Natalia and Rose, Thug Rose. Oh my God. This fight, man, oh man, bruh. What I would love to see Thug Rose win this fight, because if Thug Rose win this fight, it would definitely put her back in the position I wanted to see, and that's in title contention. Because Natalia Silva, I'm telling you, she's one of the new ladies in this new era for the ladies that she keeps winning. She's already low-key in a position to call next. But her beating Thug Rose, adding Thug Rose to her resume, is going to elevate her even fucking more. And I would love to see Thug Rose beat her just to see her back in this position one last time, because I do feel like Thug Rose, her time is really up for real. But some fighters, they have one last run in them and then that's it. And I want Thug Rose to have that one last run type shit. But oh man, it's a tough one, because Thug Rose got the reach advantage. She got the height advantage. Striking wise, she's a way better striker. I feel like Natalya would have a difficult time trying to get on the inside of Thug Rose, because Thug Rose, one of the things Thug Rose can still do, and that's kickbox the shit out you at a range. Like, for some reason, and it's probably fucking Pat Barry's fault, but that's why she needs to get back with Trevor Whitman and Trevor Whitman alone. But when she goes on the offense and she goes inside, Thug Rose, for some reason, her shit is not the same. And it opens her up to much more counters, versus when she's kickboxing you at her range and she just stay there, and she's unbeatable. But Natalya Silva, and even if this fight gets to the ground, it's 50-50. Because Thug Rose, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Jiu-Jitsu is on point. But Natalya low-key is like the evolution of anything Thug Rose could do, Natalya could do better, because she's the more fresher new style. Like, they low-key the same style a little bit. Not like the same like Muay Thai style and striking style, but it's more like their overall makeup, their overall game is low-key the same. Like, they both can do it both. They both can do it all. So that's kind of like, it's 50-50, but Natalya is much more of the newer, fresher fighter as far as like mileage on her MMA body, versus Thug Rose. Thug Rose is pretty much an OG in the game at this point. So evolution wise, you would say, well, Natalya is going to be the faster, stronger fighter, which, you know, that could happen. It could happen where Natalya is just a step above Thug Rose in the speed advantage. So it's kind of like, instead of Thug Rose doing what she do, she's always either on the back foot, or she chasing Natalya, and she can't really get there because Natalya is just faster and quicker than her. But stylistically wise, Natalya Silva's a beast. I want Thug Rose to win, but Natalya, she should take it, because Thug Rose is just, she just missing. It's Pat Barry's fault. It's Pat Barry's fault, but she's just missing that extra shit that she needs to beat these new generation fighters. So Natalya Silva should take this one. I'm gonna say 3-round decision. So now we go into the opening fight, Arnold Allen and Gene Silva. Lord Jesus, I hope Gene Silva has worked on, and shout out to Mauricio Rufy. Shout out to Mauricio Rufy while it's fresh in my mind, because I spoke about this before, but, you know, shout out to him for changing camps, and him talking about it, because I've seen an interview of him talking about it on Ariel's show. He don't have bad blood with the fighting nerds, which is good. But it's nice for him to realize that these niggas, he's not going to elevate his career staying with these niggas. So he needs to venture off to somewhere else to get the knowledge and build on his technique and his craft to become a much more overall fighter. So shout out to him. But Gene Silva, I hope and prayed y'all actually worked on something, because Diego Lopez, that shit was awful. Yeah, and you had bright moments because you're so gifted as a striker, but your overall, it's mixed martial arts. It's not Muay Thai, it's not regular boxing, it's not glory kickboxing, it's mixed martial arts. You have to mix your martial arts, and Gene Silva, your arts is not mixing. So I hope you, now for this stylistic fight, I'm picking Gene Silva, and I like Arnold Allen. I like Arnold Allen because he's a technical kickboxer, and the way he level changed, it's nice. But Gene Silva, he just it's something about Gene Silva that he has it. He just don't have the overall it factor. But striking wise, if you're gonna stand there and strike with Gene Silva, you're cooked. And I feel like Arnold Allen, even though he's a very talented kickboxer, he's not more powerful and he's not faster than Gene Silva. So I do got Gene Silva. I low key, I do feel like Gene Silva has to get Arnold Allen out of there in the first round. If he don't get Arnold Allen out of there in the first round, Arnold Allen may win this fight. Because Gene Silva cardio, I'm not gonna lie to you, Gene Silva cardio is not all that. Like out of all the niggas in that group, Caio Borrello got the best cardio. Then it would probably be, and we never know because Gene Silva and Mauricio Rufy be getting these niggas out of here like so damn early. It's basically like the Conor effect. Like Conor was getting niggas out of here left and right so damn early that you didn't know where his gas tank was until he fought Nate Diaz. And then we found out, like, okay, Conor is like an early half type fighter, and then the second half, that's where you can really get him. So if you stay with him in the first half, you definitely going to destroy him in the second half of the fight, which is, the championship rounds. Gene Silva and Mauricio Rufy, the jury is out, but I can tell you firsthand, just off the Diego Lopez fight, and that's only like a little sample size, because that was just one ass whipping. His cardio is not all that good. His cardio is not all that good. I ain't saying his ass, but it's like, to me, Gene Silva got 2 rounds in him, and that's it. So if for Arnold Allen's sake, if he don't get finished in the first round, I think he's very technical enough to pick Gene Silva up as he get tired. So I do got Gene Silva winning, actually, first round TKO, but I would not be surprised if he don't get out. I will be surprised if he don't get him out of here in the first like 2 rounds, and it actually goes to a decision or even a 3rd round, and Gene Silva still dominating him. I would be surprised, but Gene, he don't strike me as a guy who can last the full distance. So Gene Silva first round TKO, but if he can't get him out of here early, I expect Arnold Allen to adjust and take control over the fight going into the 2nd and 3rd round. Now, before we end off this preview, Deiveson, Figueiredo, Umar. It's real simple with this one. Umar going to take this, especially with Deiveson missing weight. Now, obviously, with Deiveson missing weight, Deiveson is going to be, and this is what I don't understand. Because the idea, because the idea was floated around, and even I okayed it. I low-key agree with it. But if you missing weight and bantamweight, as a matter of fact, I low-key agree with it. But then I second thought myself, and I backtracked a little bit, and I said Deiveson need to look at featherweight. And it's because I thought of like the Corey Sandhagen shit. And then it's like, nah, you know what? He need to go up to featherweight. But at first, before I changed my opinion, like a couple weeks later, I was okay with him going back to flyweight. I'm like, but now, fast forward to 2 months later, and now we in 2026, him messing weight at bantamweight, I'm like, it confirms my second opinion, my second change of heart opinion that he needs to go out to featherweight, and it also completely obliterate my first opinion of he should go to flyweight. Because if you can't make it bantamweight, what the fuck is it going to look like you going back to flyweight? You is definitely going to kill your body then. So yeah, I don't know what the fuck going on with Deiveson Figueiredo, but stylistically wise, now we talking about prime Davison Figueiredo, Umar low-key would still win because he has the cardio advantage and he just too good of a grappler. But it will be a very tough fight for him. But Davison is not in his prime form, and that he's not the same fighter. Like, let's just call it for what it is. I love Figueiredo, you know, as far as like interest level and watching him compete and shit like that and rooting for him. Davison is still one of my favorites per se, but he's not the same fighter. And now he'll miss away. Now he's gonna be the heaviest fighter going into this, but that don't matter to a nigga like Umar, especially the way them Nurmagomedov niggas grapple. You already know what it is with them. Davison cardio is not. Now, Umar cardio got to improve, especially for a nigga like Merab. And that's where we judging Umar on, because Umar is on that level of a Petrian and a Merab. So with each fight, we're judging him moving forward, looking at Petrian and Merab. And cardio-wise, Umar still has to improve his cardio if he wants to keep competing with Petrian and Merab. But for this fight in particular, him and Davison Figueiredo, Umar is just going to, first of all, he's now he's not the more powerful striker. That's Davison Figueiredo. But but the more dynamic striker with distance, range, kickboxing, coming at weird angles, nice level change counters. Davison really can't fuck with Umar. So I expect Umar to beat Davison. I'm gonna say second round submission, honestly, because I feel like Davison going to get tired and Umar is going to choke him the fuck out. But yeah, man, that concludes the first preview show for the UFC in 2026, 3/24. So yeah, man, just one more night of sleep and then it's fight night, y'all. So yeah, I'm gonna say this now confidently. Y'all get ready. Paddy Pimblett and Ilia for Undisputed. Y'all get ready. But until the review show, I'm gonna see y'all niggas later, man.